All right, so welcome to the webinar today. This is going to be your 2021 marketing plan for tree service. And we're glad you joined us today. And we're going to unpack pretty much every single thing that you need to be doing in your tree service business for the upcoming year to kind of make last year look like it was, less than you needed. Maybe you're going to increase this year. You want to maybe add a crew, add some more equipment. This is going to be how you're going to get there in the roadmap. So we're going to unpack every little thing in your 2021 marketing plan. So I'm glad you joined us. It means you're kind of willing to take a look at your business. We're going to go through some different things where you can kind of take notes and write down what it is that you're looking to do with your business next year. Because if you have goals and you have targets, well, then you can reach those goals and those targets. We write down targets and goals weekly. We adjust them up, we adjust them down if we didn't hit them. So this webinar will kind of show you what you guys can do. It's going to be all about you. It's going to be interactive. It's about your tree service business. So let me go ahead and share my screen so you can see the slides that we've got prepared today. And then just let me know if those are visible for you, if you can see those in the chat, just if you wouldn't mind just popping that in there. Pull it up here. Okay, let me do that. Okay, great. Everybody can see it. Good deal. Okay, so this is going to be your 2021 internet marketing plan and how to maximize your lead flow in the new year. What we're going to cover today is, number one, we're going to set goals for 2021. How many leads it's going to take to hit your target in the new year. The three fundamentals to marketing success for your tree service business. There's probably more than three, but those are kind of like the general fundamentals to marketing success. How to optimize your website for conversion in 2021 to make sure you get the most amount of leads from the amount of visitors that you get. The big picture of all the online marketing channels you should be tapping into to maximize your lead flow on the internet. And then the latest trends that you need to focus on this coming year in 2021, because things are constantly changing. Some things used to work, they don't work anymore. And new things that we're seeing and tweaking and testing that are going to work good this year. Develop a custom action plan based on where you are now and what you need to do right now to make a change in your business. And what we always go through is the digital dominance method, right? There's 8 spokes on the wheel, and none of them really you want to avoid. You probably can start with maybe a handful or maybe 1, 2, or 3 of these. But the first one is your website and your SEO. The proper foundation for your website, your business, is to have a good website that people get on and they go, wow, this is a real tree business, right? You got the credentials, you got the testimonials, it looks nice, it looks good on mobile, and then properly SEO optimized. Number 2 is your pay-per-click marketing. If you want to really dominate an entire area, that's going to be the way to do that and accomplish that. Number 3 is retargeting, so that people just don't forget about you. They constantly see your business front and center on the internet. Number 4 is going to be paid online directories. Number 5 is repeat and referral business. Number 6 is pay per lead. So if you're not getting enough lead flow in your market, perhaps you want to tap into Home Advisor, Networks, or one of those other ones, Thumbtack or something like that, to maybe get additional lead flow. Number 7 is going to be social media advertising on Facebook and YouTube, different parameters like that. And then number 8 is gift cards, referral programs. So you can offer your current customers, hey, look, if you refer us over a client or a neighbor, we'll happily pay you a referral fee for that. So that's the digital dominance method. But today, if you want to get the most out of this presentation and how to take your business to the next level next year, you might want to pay attention just to kind of some of the things that we're going to be doing in the workshop part, because it really helps you kind of put some of your ideas on paper, what it is you're looking to do next year with your business. So if you maybe just mute your cell phone or turn off Facebook, these are things that are going to distract you from your goal. But if you're serious about doubling or tripling the leads that you pull from your Google ads for tree service, or just your overall dominance method in your business next year, then the next 30 to 45 minutes are going to be critical for you, just to kind of open your eyes as to what's possible. And if you stay to the end, we're going to go through the ultimate internet marketing checklist for tree service contractors, which we're going to give you. And you may actually already have this. A lot of people already have it, but it's one of the things we're going to give you at the end. And then, who am I and why should you listen to me? Well, I've been in internet marketing for about 10 years now, specialize in tree service internet marketing. Let me get this piece right here. So I specialize in tree service contractor marketing, expert web development and digital marketing team with dozens and dozens of tree service contractor clients. We've worked with dozens of tree service contractors across the US, and we know what works to generate a flood of new business. And we're members of TCIA and ISA, which actually they're having their online conferences coming up real soon. Not sure if you guys are doing that, but I'm also, earlier this year, we published How to Win with Internet Marketing for Tree Service. So we got a book, really proud of that. Happy to send you a copy in the mail if you want a copy. It's also available on Amazon if you just want to get it for $2 to $3 with a digital download there. But that's our book, and that's why I'm here today, just to kind of show you what works, what our clients are doing, and how they've been taking it to the next level. And so we've got dozens of tree service contractors across the U.S. that work with us currently, and some of those clients are Frady Tree Care. We got Timber Tree Service, Baroni's Tree Pros, who you're going to hear about a little bit here later. They're our client that basically went from 40 leads per month all the way to 185 leads per month with our services. And then Green Acres Tree Service, southeasttree.com. And you can see some of these video testimonials if you go to treeservicedigital.com /testimonials. So this is what we do. We do this every single day for the tree service niche. And this is our website. You can get a strategy session anytime you want on the website. And we're a team that does tree service marketing only exclusively. We don't do it for roofers. We don't do it for attorneys. This is all we do every single day. And it's going to help you increase your sales, enhance your online reputation, drive more calls, leads, and profits for your business, and get more increased repeat and referral business. So the number one question is really, if you're on this webinar today, and maybe you're trying to do it yourself a little bit, but what's the hardest part about marketing your tree service business online? Maybe you tried a few things. Maybe you're doing some stuff currently. You can pop it in the chat if you want to. We'll try to answer it as soon as we get a moment. But what's the hardest part so far? Maybe that you've maybe tried and you maybe just hit a wall. Maybe it just didn't get any results or something like that. But if you have anything you've done, just let us know and I'll try to answer that question for you. But if you're doing it yourself, it's kind of tough because you don't do it every single day, right? But there's so many options, and it's unclear where to spend your budget really on internet marketing, because you probably tried a lot of different things that possibly didn't work. Some things may have worked, some things maybe not have worked. You got your website, you got your SEO, pay-per-click marketing, social media marketing, email marketing. You got these third-party lead providers. There's just all these different things that are constantly coming in that you're like, man, I just don't even know what to do anymore. Maybe I just should, just not do anything. But if you know the secret formula and you know the recipe of what actually works, a combination of multiple different things, it's not just one thing, but if you know that formula, it gives you confidence to move forward with your business to grow it. And we get it. I mean, it's a major investment in marketing, right? I mean, you're investing a lot of money into your marketing. You're getting it, you're getting, people are coming at you from all angles. People calling you about your Google listing is not live, or they're calling you about, Home Advisor, or they're calling about Thumbtack, or whoever's calling you all the time trying to get you to sign up with their program, Yelp. A lot of them just don't work, and some of them do work, but it's a major investment. So you have to really kind of look into it. And then, maybe you've tried some things and there's just not much to show for it at the end of the day. That's really the case. There's not much to show for it. So we've been there too. We know that. We test a lot of marketing services for ourselves, for our agency, just to get tree service contractors, to notice us, to see us too out there. And so we know. But it can, it can cost a lot of money with your marketing, and it could fail. If you don't have a clear plan, you can overspend and not get an ROI, or worse, underspend and then underperform. But if you do the digital dominance method properly, we're going to show you today that won't be the case. You don't want to empty your wallets out or your pockets. So there lies the opportunity. So the opportunity comes up because all these different things are out there, all this noise is out there. If you focus and concentrate on what does work, you can kind of stay in your lane and hit your targets and your goals by just constantly increasing what you're doing that's working. And that's really a combination of a lot of things. It's by testing and tweaking things, just knowing what's working and what's not. So a clear plan with goals, targets, and key performance indicators are what's going to help you with your business. So a clear plan, a written, plan of where you want to go next year, what revenue targets, how many crews you want. There's certain types of, things that you need to kind of track and probably have a target for. And then targets, and then your key performance indicators, like what's my average invoice? If I have 100 invoices in a month, sure, some of those are going to be $5,000, some of those are going to be $500. But if I've got 100 invoices for the month, what was the average invoice? And so then you can kind of back into numbers from there. Okay, if we do 100 jobs in a month, our average invoice was $927. Well, then to get that revenue, you know how many leads you need, as long as you know how many of those leads you can convert. And those are some of the things that you need to be able to track. So if you generate enough leads, our goal is to help you understand how to generate enough leads to keep your crews busy and revenue increasing year over year. And this is going to keep your crew busy, revenue increasing, and just making more money year over year. So again, if you don't have a clear plan, you can overspend, or worse, underspend and underperform. So this is going to be coming up right here, your 2021 internet marketing plan, what to implement, how to implement it, what it looks like, what the numbers look like, and back in your own specific numbers for your business. So hopefully you got like a little pad that you can write on, because we're going to get into a couple of things where we kind of go through numbers. It just kind of helps you clearly understand your business. So the number one thing is, for your 2021 internet marketing plan, is going to be set clear goals. And so you can just ask yourself, what are your goals for 2021? And yeah, Shelly popped in a chat earlier. The hardest part of marketing is weeding out real leads from people not serious about paying for the work. And that's true. That's very true. So you need a lot of leads. By showing up highly in your local market, you're going to get good emergency motivated leads. Kind of depends on where you're getting them from too, but we'll go through that. And I agree. You got to have people that want to pay for the work and get it done actually. But moving on with the goal part is, what are your goals for 2021? You can write those down. But I like the quote from Brian Tracy, success is goals, all else is commentary. So let's have goals and let's write them down. If you write them down in a place that you're going to see it pretty much day in and day out, it's going to help you continually think about your goal and what you got to do to get to your goal. It's true. So this is kind of, you don't want to just be out on a boat in the middle of the ocean with no clear goal, right? Whichever way the wind blows, that's the way your boat's going to go. And you don't want your sailboat going left, going right, east, west, north, just randomly. If you need to go north to get to a specific island or a place that you want to get to with your sailboat, you need a map to get there. You need to know exactly where you're going. And so clear goals is having wind in your sails, and just helps you kind of continually move towards your goal week in and week out, month in and month out, when you know what you're going to do. So there was a Harvard study several years ago, 1979, interview of grads. 84% of those grad students had no specific goals at all. And 13% of those had goals, but they didn't write them down. So they didn't write down what they wanted to accomplish in the next year. So 3% of them had clear written goals and plans to accomplish those goals. And the results are pretty staggering. The 13% of the class who had goals were earning, on average, twice as much as the 84% who had no goals at all. So think about that. They were making twice as much because they had goals. They kind of knew where they were going or what they had to do. And it just makes it that much easier if you know where you're going to go, you know what you want to accomplish. You can work towards those goals weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly. And even more staggering, the 3% who had clear written goals, they were earning on average 10 times as much as the other 97% put together. So it just goes to show you the people and business owners who have goals and targets can work towards those goals and targets, not just aimlessly running your business, but actually having targets and goals that you're trying to get to. It just really helps. It's statistics prove it for sure. So, the goal setting framework for your business should be, have written goals and plans for your business. You need to set at a minimum, probably 1 year goal, quarterly goals, monthly goals, and you must have a stopping point at the beginning of each new year and end of each quarter at the minimum, probably, to reflect And how did you do based on what you set for your goal? And what are you going to do going forward to either change that goal so that you could actually attain it, or maybe you need to increase it because you already hit it. So it's just good to reflect on what you've accomplished and what you haven't over each quarter, over each year. So what are your goals for 2021? So this is the part. Let's put pen to paper and just find out what it is you're looking to do this coming year. You probably know what you hit in 2020, or probably pretty good idea of what type of revenue you're going to do for 2020. So what's your revenue target for 2021? Maybe you're $1 million tree business and you're looking to get to $1.5 million, for example, this coming year. That's your revenue target, 1.5 million. And again, guys, I'm just throwing out a number. You could be bigger, you could be smaller, but what's your revenue target? If that's 1.5 million, how much is that monthly? Break it down by 12 months. Divide that number that you're trying to hit by 12 months. How many calls will that require your business to get on a monthly basis, weekly basis, to get that type of revenue per month? And then what's your average transaction value? So here's some hypothetical numbers. Kind of going on that $1.5 million number, if your revenue target is 1.5 million, then that's monthly $125,000 per month. So you gotta do some tree work for sure, lots of it, to get to the 1.5 million. But if you break it down by 125,000, then you got to look at what's your average transaction value. Kind of the reason I teed that up earlier in the presentation was just to get you thinking about what your average invoice is. So if your average invoice is $600, some people's are $1,000, some people's are $1,500, depends on what kind of work you do, or if you have contracts, if you have just commercial stuff like that. So how many jobs will that require to do per month? If you're at $600 or $605 per invoice, that would require 200 per month. That's your average transaction value to get to roughly 125,000 in revenue, 200 jobs per month. Now, again, it's going to change. So if you're $1,000 a month or $1,000 per invoice, that's going to go down. You're probably at about 125 or 130 jobs per month. So it goes down. How many leads will you need is kind of the next thing. So if you know that you want to do 125K per month and you need 200 jobs per month, let's see how many of those leads that you're currently converting. So how many calls are you getting per month today? And how many of those are you actually getting a signed estimate and move forward with the work with? So if you're closing 50%, maybe your pricing's a little too low, perhaps. If you're closing 20%, maybe your pricing's a little too high based on your competition. So you kind of can know that and kind of tweak that as you go. But if your average conversion rate from caller to booked job is 50%, you kind of know that you need 400 leads per month to hit 200 jobs per month paying at the $605 per invoice. And that's going to change. This is just kind of random numbers we're throwing out just to make sure you understand kind of how to learn your key performance indicators. So divide your call target by your conversion rate. So if your average conversion rate from caller to booked call is 50%, then multiply your call target by your conversion rate. So 200 calls divided by 50% is 400 leads per month that you need to get to the $125,000 revenue target. So what is your goal for 2021? So just write it down, make sure you have a list of it, and how many leads will you need monthly to get there. So everybody's is going to be a little bit different because everybody's business is in a different stage. People are doing different amounts of revenue, etc. So just make sure you have that written down, because we're going to continue to kind of expand on that during this webinar. So the fundamentals of your marketing are going to be the message, right? What is your message? What's your individual message for your business and your market, and who are you marketing to? So who is your target market? Is that commercial? Is that residential? Who is that? And then the media is how you're going to push that marketing message out into the market. That's the media, how you're going to do that. So number 2 is update your marketing message. So now that we have a clear set of goals, what we're going to do for next year, then now we need to update your marketing message. And this is kind of comprised of a couple different things. So who is your ideal customer, first off? So you got to know who is the person typically going to be seeing your marketing message and typically going to be hiring you to come out to give an estimate or to do the work. Who is your ideal customer? And then when we do that, we kind of just look at who your ideal customer avatar is. And avatar just means who is the typical person, human being, that would call, schedule, and buy your services, your customer avatar. So you got to know their goals and their frustrations. So you need to know their pains and their frustrations as a buyer, as a consumer out in the public, their pains and their frustrations, their fears and their implications, their goals and their desires, dreams and aspirations too. Like, what do they want? And who is your ideal customer avatar? So here's what we found, and this is kind of like the home services niche in a whole. But your ideal customer, if you're a tree service contractor across the U.S., is typically going to be a homeowner, 35 years old or more, typically female, occasionally male. It's usually about 2/3 female calling, or maybe half. It just depends on the demographics in the market, but more often than not, it's more female than male calling, scheduling, and then buying. Married with 2 to 3 kids, head of household, 65K plus in annual household income, family oriented, reliable, easily frustrated, likes to please people and expects the same in return, just overall friendly people. Their pains and frustrations are dangerous or unsightly tree. Could be a pain in their yard right now. Can't get a tree service company on the phone or to return their call. Need to get tree issue resolved. And they're just too busy to deal with it, right? They need something to happen. They need somebody to show up when they say they're going to show up. Worried that the situation at the house could get unhealthy for the family. Their fears and implications are probably kind of like yours when you're a buyer too out there. Like their fears are, I'm going to get ripped off or overcharged. I'm going to pay too much for something that I could have gotten cheaper somewhere else. Having the home damaged by a faulty workmanship, or maybe they're taking down a tree and a huge branch falls and hits my roof or my gutter and knocks it off. Are they going to be safe? Having to wait around for the tree guy to arrive at the house, wasting my time. Being inconvenienced, trying to coordinate with the tree contractor. That's their fears and implications. Their goals and their desires, just as a person, is typically get the tree issue fixed. I want to get it fixed. I'm willing to pay for it. I just want to get it fixed. Having the issue behind them, like being done with it. Their goals are having a well-kept home, taking care of their family, more income, money, and wealth, live in a nicer, more luxurious home, drive a nicer car, kids healthy, happy, successful, spend more time with their family. That's their goals and desires, probably similar to yourself. But if you can see Joe Jones through Joe Jones' eyes, then you can sell what Joe Jones buys, right? I mean, if you know what they're looking for, then we just need to put the right message in front of them to help convert more of these people that are looking for your services. And it just helps. So crafting your message is super important. It's the message of what you're trying to send out there, the market, who you want to receive the message, which is typically your customer, and then the media, how you're going to push that particular message out to the market. So what is your message? We got a couple little places here to kind of write down a few things. I'll take a quick drink here of water, and just you guys write down, like, why should someone choose to do business with you versus the competition? And I've seen some of our clients have great messaging already. We leave the yard cleaner than before we got there. Family owned and operated. 30 plus years in business. There's a lot of different examples. And then what benefits do you offer that your target customer avatar, so your typical general customer, would resonate with? What benefits do you offer? And if anybody has any questions or needs something clarified, you can pop it in the chat if you need to. But what is your message as a business? Because you need kind of a message, kind of a differentiator, not necessarily a huge one or anything crazy, but just one that people will remember, something that just kind of sets you apart a little bit from the other tree companies around you. Here's some messaging that we found works. Okay, same day service or emergency services, or 24-hour service or on-time service, that works. Straightforward pricing or upfront pricing, 100% satisfaction guaranteed, free estimates, those all work. Trustworthy technicians, or trustworthy crews, trusted technicians or experienced technicians, licensed, fully insured and bonded. That works. That gives people the peace of mind, because a lot of times when we hear some of our clients' leads that come through, it's like half the time they're asking, are you guys licensed and insured? So, I mean, just by having that messaging on your ad copy, your landing pages, your website, it's going to help answer that question up front. It's going to more likely get them to call, because a lot of people don't want to talk to people that aren't insured. And then some people probably don't care, but we want to make sure we deliver that type of message, because you're a professional tree company, and we want those types of customers that are looking for a professional tree company. We want to get the right types of clients in the door. And you can make the case, for fast same-day service to money-saving offers. So, a good money-saving offer would be, if they book on your Facebook page, or if you send email marketing out to your database, those are good to send out, like, $100 off your next invoice of $1,000 or more, $200 off $2,000 or more, things like that. 24 hours emergency service, friendly service crews. We'll leave your yard cleaner than when we found it. Great service guaranteed, 100% customer satisfaction. So you can make those cases too. So now we can look at the media. So we've gotten kind of your message, right? We kind of know what we want to message to the public, to get that message out there. We know who we're marketing to. We just kind of went through your customer avatar, who that person is. It's generally the same across the country, depending on if you're a tree service company that does mostly residential work, or maybe you do it for commercial contracts or apartments or associations, things like that. So it's going to be a little different depending on who your target market is. A lot of people do both. So you want to make sure you have a marketing message that kind of resonates with everybody. And then the media is how we're going to push that out to the market. So let's look at the media. So number 3 is going to be, make sure your hub converts, right? If we're going to drive all these people to our website, or all these people to our landing pages, if we're doing pay-per-click marketing and different various ways to bring in traffic, we got to make sure that it's built to convert the most amount of people to leads, to calling potential customers, people that fill out free estimate contact forms, people that call. So make sure your hub converts. And your website is going to be the hub of your business. You got people coming in from Facebook, but typically when they find your Facebook page, they're going to click the link to your website. People find you on Twitter, they're going to click the link to your website. People find you on LinkedIn. If you have a LinkedIn business page, they're going to click on your website. So all these different ways. You get YouTube videos of you guys taking down trees, or keyword videos like Tree Service Charlotte or Tree Service Atlanta, and you get a YouTube video and people find it and they click on it. They're going to end up on your website. So we want to make sure it is truly awesome and a great experience for people that land on your website. And furthermore, about 70 to 80% of all the traffic to your website is going to be on a mobile device, a smartphone. So we want to make sure it's mobile friendly and it's not 10, 12 years old before that was relevant, because it's very, very relevant today. So is your website set up to convert visitors to callers? So what we like to do is we want to make sure we have the logo here where your brand is easily recognizable. We're going to make sure your phone number is in the top right corner of the website so that it converts. People find the phone number easily. You don't want them searching for your phone number if they need to call you. We want your services in a page, each one of these services in a drop-down page, each one of your service areas in a drop-down page, so that you have the entire metro area that you want to target covered. We want an About Us page with good pictures of the team, trucks, your message, your gallery of you guys doing work, photos, news and media, blog posts, and different ways we distribute the content, and then the Contact Us page. But you'll see also we've got to get a free estimate form right at the top, and a nice high-resolution header photo of your business, of your trucks, of you guys doing a job, anything like that that's just going to be more personal, because a lot of people just have these template websites or older websites that just don't have a lot on them. And people are just less likely to call. They're just less likely to fill out the contact form because it just doesn't look legitimate, right? They just don't look legit. So you got to have something that's going to convert, looks really, really good, and will convert the most amount of those visitors to callers. And so you want to have a lot of different things on here. So you want a responsive design where it's mobile responsive, logo in the top left, just kind of like I just showed you on the previous slide there. Phone number top right, logo top left, your calls to action, the trust icons, if you're a member of the ISA, the TCIA, all those different badges you want on there. You want testimonials. That really plays a large part of people calling you. If they see other people saying that you're a great tree company, they're going to call. They may not particularly buy your services at the end, but they're going to call you and give you that opportunity to come out, build that relationship, give them an estimate, because you've got good testimonials. So it's very imperative that you work on your Google reviews, Facebook reviews, anywhere that people are at all the time. You want good reviews there. And you could even put like a chat on there if you want to. All these things really help, but you want it to look good on a mobile device for sure. 70 to 80% of traffic is coming there. So what would it mean for your business if you're dominating your local area and you're getting all of this traffic to your website? You know, what it would mean is that your cup is overflowing with people calling all the time trying to schedule appointments. That's what it would mean, and it really gets you really, really busy. We're going to get more into this little mini case study at the end of the slides here, but this is one of our clients that went from about 40 calls per month before we started working together. They had a pretty good website. Their rankings were pretty good, but they weren't on page one and up in the maps for everything, just a few things. And we started working with them in 2019, about a year ago. And they were getting about 40 leads per month from their website, from different other sources and stuff like that. And we've got them up to over 180 calls and leads per month in 2020 this year. They've been routinely booking out 2, 3, 4 months down the road. We've had to pause ad campaigns, recharge them, restart them, but they love having the additional lead flow just simply because it gives them the opportunity to kind of pick and choose what jobs they want to do. But they've went up over 500K in annual increase in revenue because of this, and on pace to do over $1.3 million this year. Expanded from 6 guys to 12 guys, and now they've got up to 3 crews. Confidence that they now have a consistent and sustainable lead flow. So you can see it can easily really ratchet up the amount of calls and stuff you get, and that's going to keep everybody busy and everybody happy. So is your website set up for conversion? Does it speak to your target avatar? Does it speak to whoever it is that you're trying to get that message to? Does it address their fears and frustrations and speak to why they should choose you? Does it have real authentic images of your team? Does it include video elements? So a quick little video, like a selfie video, or somebody in your office taking a video, or doing a video on a job site, taking a tree down or doing some tree trimming or whatever, showing your crews, it really goes a long way, because they want to see who you are, before they call. And when they see you, hey, they're going to call more often. You have a welcome video on your website, videos for each one of your services if you want to put those on there. Video explaining why someone should contact you versus the competition. Does it showcase your online reviews and more prominently on the homepage with a tool, one of these review tools like Birdeye or Review Buzz? We actually have a tool as well that we offer with our package. Does it make it easy for them to take action and get in contact with your company? We just want to make it so easy for everybody to give you a call. And you're going to get more calls because of it, just making it easier. Get the basics in order. Phone number in the top right-hand corner where they don't have to search for it. It's just right there. Ensure that there's a web form that customers can fill out. Add credibility with authority symbols like BBB, Angie's List, TCIA, ISA. You want those all on your website. Are there calls to action on each page to ensure this speaks to your customer avatar and tells them exactly what to do next? Are you going to give them the opportunity to chat with your company? So one of the latest trends that we've seen out there is you can embed the Facebook Messenger on your website. So a lot of people are constantly on Facebook that own tree care companies, and so are your customers, right? So if they're on your website and your Facebook chat pops up right there, they just have the ability to ask you a quick question, and that can turn into a lead and an estimate, an appointment. So just little things like that. So your website, so pull up your website right now. Just take a look at it. Is it built to convert with all those elements that we just kind of went over? And write down, like, what is it that you need to tweak on your website to make sure you get it exactly the way it needs to be? Because again, your website is the hub where everybody is going to ultimately get to at some point, whether they find you on Facebook, a pay-per-click ad, your Google Maps, somebody refers them to you, they're still going to look you up and end up on your website. So you want to make sure it's good. So the next thing I want to get into is just super, super, super important. The biggest marketing issue facing tree service companies in most cases is unconverted leads. So you guys get leads, and we've had clients in the past, we've produced tons and tons and tons of leads. And some of our clients, most of our clients, do a phenomenal job of taking down the calls, booking the appointment, getting the work, and just turning over money, getting new customers, and getting a good return on investment. And then there's other companies that are just busy and they don't have time to respond or don't have a system in place or an office staff in place to get back with every lead that comes through. And so a lot of these leads are ones that come through the contact forms on your website. So you get the contact form and it's like maybe you waited 30 minutes or 45 minutes or an hour and a half or 2 hours, or maybe you never even called them because they didn't call, so you didn't really pick up the phone and call them. So the unconverted leads is the biggest marketing issue facing tree service companies and a lot of companies out there in general. Here's the problem: 50 to 55% of inbound leads leave unconverted. So they never convert. Like, you don't really get them on the phone, you don't get the estimate, you don't get the appointment. And 80% of web forms fail to convert in a lot of cases. It depends on the business. Some businesses literally, like lightning, they get on the phone as soon as they get that email with a lead from the website. Other ones wait, or they're busy, or they just maybe chalk it up as that's not really a motivated lead because they just filled out the form, they didn't call. Maybe it's not that motivated. Well, I can tell you they're motivated in a lot of cases, but maybe they're at work, or maybe they're just in a place they can't talk, or maybe it's like after hours or whatever. So they just fill out your form. So that's really important. So here's why: leads that are not followed up with within 15 minutes go cold. So if they call, you're on the horn with them, you're on the phone with them, you're able to build that relationship fast when they call. That's not the issue. If you miss the call, it's an issue, or if they go to voicemail, it's an issue. The average customer must be followed up with 5 to 7 times before booking. Today's consumer prefers to interact via text message versus phone call or email. And I know it's kind of a pain. It's like, man, I don't want to sit here and text all these people. But a lot of the demographics, like younger population, 30s and younger, they want to text. They want to set appointments via text. So if you have that in place, you're going to get a lot more conversions just simply because you communicate the way that they want to. And so by adapting to the way they want to communicate, you're going to help increase your lead flow and conversions on that. So here's the solution to fix that. So you got to leverage marketing automation to follow up with web forms within the first 2 minutes of submission via phone, email, and text message. So as soon as they fill out that contact form, we have a system now that will generate a call right to your office. Well, it's in the works. We got the system in place. We're just kind of deploying it now. But within the first 2 minutes of submission to the web form, there's going to be a call to your office where you pick it up, and then it dials out the lead that just submitted that web form, and you're on the phone with them within 20, 30 seconds. And that's what somebody fills out the web form, because when they fill out the web form, they're going to fill out their cell phone too, and it's going to send them a text message immediately as well. Thank you so much for your interest in XYZ Tree Service. Please call to book an appointment at your convenience. You send them that text message, and they get an email at the same exact time. Well, simultaneously, the phone line is being dialed to their number as well. So they're getting text, they're getting email, and they're getting on the phone with your office at the same exact time. So if they don't pick up when your office calls them automatically with this tool, then they'll still get text messages for the next 2 to 3 days to go ahead and book with you. Just reminders: hey, you filled out the form. We want to get out there and take a look at the trees that you have a need for work for. So you want to automate the follow-up so that every prospect is touched 5+ times and able to engage via two-way text messaging. So the system that we're implementing will give you an app where you can actually respond to the text messages. You can give them a call back. You can, because they're going to text sometimes and they're going to email sometimes. But the emails are going to come directly to your email. The texting is two-way texting, but you just got to basically pull up the app or have the app on your phone, and you'll be able to respond to that and set the appointment. So it's really, really imperative if you want to convert more of those. So here, let's take a look at the math here. So let's say you're getting 100 leads per month and your conversion rate, I don't know, is 30%, let's say, right? So you get 30% conversion, and you don't really have a follow-up system in place, right? You're not really following up with people. You book 30 jobs out of 100 leads. So 30 book jobs, average ticket $650, 30 jobs off of your marketing ends up being $19,500. Not bad, that's not bad. But let's look at it the other way. If you have a conversion system in place that constantly nurtures those leads that come through, you get 100 leads. Let's say now your conversion rate ends up being 70% because you're not losing all those ones that fill out the contact forms. You're actually getting them on the phone and scheduling the appointment instead of losing them or calling them back an hour later. You're talking to them within 30 seconds after they fill the form out, and the follow-up is automated. So you're going to book, let's say you book 70 jobs out of those 100 same leads. So just by increasing your conversion and getting those leads on the phone turns into over double the amount of booked jobs in revenue. And so that's 70 jobs times 650 equals $45,000 in revenue as opposed to just 19.5. So you can see, I mean, just getting the leads on the phone and actually having a conversation with them and booking that appointment, it's going to exponentially increase the amount of revenue you can make on the same amount of leads. Like, you don't even really need to generate more leads in a lot of cases. People don't. It's just a matter of making sure you follow up and nurture those leads that come through and get them on the phone to book that appointment. That's the biggest challenge, just making sure everybody is talked to. So it makes every lead you generate more valuable. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense for you. If you have any questions about that, you can pop it in chat or whatever, but let's implement this in your business. I mean, this makes a huge world of difference, and it's being implemented right this minute, and it can be implemented in your business too. It takes a lot of the heavy lifting off your plate. So here's some action items that you want to do. So what are the 3 conversion elements will you implement on your website? So we looked at the website, kind of what it needs on there. This is just an opportunity for you to kind of write down what it is that maybe you need on your website that's not there already today. So it could be, you know, I need to put a click to call button on my website when it's on mobile view, because, you know, 70 to 80% of all visitors these days are on a mobile device. I need to have a click to call button on there because everybody's getting on there from their smartphone and I'm just not getting enough calls. Well, if you put the click to call button on your website, that's going to help you generate a lot more leads with the same amount of visitors. Maybe you need, you know, a contact form on the homepage. Maybe you need your phone number in the top right. Maybe you need some testimonials on the homepage. You know, whatever that looks like, just write it down and make sure you get with your web team and, you know, basically get that done. Edwin asks, could this be automated system be integrated with WordPress? Yes, Edwin, it can, because we have a contact form that we would embed on the website, and it takes care of all of that automated follow-up. So it's totally compatible with WordPress for sure. So those are the conversion elements. Just write those down and what it is that you want to put in there. So what are the takeaways? What did you learn? What did you notice? What would you like to share about your website? What are the things maybe you didn't know before, maybe now you know? It's like, wow, we can do that with our business. If you have anything you wanted to share in chat, just, you know, you can pop it in there and I'll answer your question or bring it up. Other people probably have the same thing. Oh, Edwin, you're welcome. No problem. And we'll be in touch with that. That's actually just around the pike. So I'll be in touch with you about that system. It's awesome too, man. It's going to really help. All right, so this should be actually number 4 instead of number 3. You already had number 3. Number 4, know and track your KPIs. So KPIs are your key performance indicators, like how many phone calls did we get? How many of those phone calls turned into appointments? And how many of those appointments turned into paying jobs? So those are your KPIs, key performance indicators. And so it kind of looks like something like this. Like you would have a dashboard where you see how many leads you got if you're tracking this yourself, how many leads you got, how much you spent total on everything. So if you're paying for search engine optimization with your agency, if you're paying for you know, pay-per-click marketing, if you're paying for Facebook social ads, if you're paying for email marketing, you're paying for Home Advisor, Angie's List, any of these other things, the aggregate of the amount of dollars that you're spending on your marketing would go right here. And then average cost per lead, you can figure that out pretty easily to just divide, you know, how many leads you got by how much you spent. You get the total cost per lead. And then, you know, you can kind of break down the leads as well, like how many came from organic, pay-per-click, web forms, total leads. You know, those are kind of your key performance indicators right there. So make sure you know those because it helps you kind of do every other part of your business and kind of build on every other part of your business. And it really helps you kind of just get that snapshot, get clear on it to where you know what your goals are. So far, we've been through, you know, clear goals and targets for 2021. So make sure you have those written down and just kind of know where you want to head. A clarity around market, message, and media. We've made sure our website is optimized for conversion. So all those things that we were talking about, make sure you have a notes of what you want your web team. Of course, we build them like that from the get-go, the foundational aspects of your website. But if you have a web team, make sure you have those written down and you give those to your web team to put on there because it's going to make a lot of difference on your website. Made sure our website is optimized for conversion. And then we've set up a simple KPI tracking dashboard so that you kind of know how many leads you're getting, how much you spent, how much your cost per lead is. And then, from there, you can kind of track what it is you want to increase, decrease, all those things. So it's really important to get that. So the key trends for 2021 this year, and this has kind of been going on for a little while, but more and more and more so, key trends are going to be Google local service ads. So across the United States, if you're in a major market, I think it's deemed as about 200K population and up. Google has Google Guaranteed, Google local service ads at the very, very top of the pay-per-click page. And so if you get vetted with Google, now there is a qualification process, so it takes a little while to do that. We'll go through that here in just a second, but Google local service ads are at the top, and it is an option for you to pay per call with Google for that. I think it's basically their attempt to weed out Home Advisor, Thumbtack, Angie's List. They want to have a place where people feel comfortable. These people have been background checked, et cetera. If you're going to call these contractors out to your house. And the other trend is there's been a shift from phone conversion, which that's still pretty big in the tree service niche. People do call and they want to talk about their tree and the issue of their tree more so than just texting a lot of times. But there has been a shift from phone conversion to message conversion, like texting, emailing, things like that. So you want to make sure that you're set up to get your share of those leads that come through, because you have to communicate the way that they want to communicate if you want the most of those leads. You must have an all-in perspective with your marketing if you really want to get totally dominant in your local area. That's your search engine optimization, your pay-per-click marketing, local service ads, and social media. And I would also, add email marketing. If you have a database, you want to be sending those emails out too, to just keep reminding people, of your business, of your tree service company, so they remember to call you instead of somebody else. So build your 2021 plan. This is about your business, what you want to do, and kind of where you want to go with your tree service business, and get those clear goals in mind. So what is Google Local Services? Here's how it looks. It's really, you've probably already seen it before if you're in a major market, but at the very, very top of the page up here, you'll see it shows the Google Guaranteed with a green checkbox. And it just shows kind of those things. So they started with like plumbing, heating and air, and a couple other different contractors, because I think because they're coming into your house most often. So they wanted to kind of get that first. But this is kind of, what it looks like. So it's at the very, very top of the page. And then right below that, these are the Google ads. So these right here work very well too. You can blanket an extensive area that you want to cover across the metro area. The one drawback that we've seen with the Google local services is that you're kind of restricted to the amount of zip codes that you can run the ads in. And they tell you, hey, you can list all the areas you want to run it in. But the problem is if your city's big, there's going to be a lot of people getting verified and confirmed with Google Guaranteed. So in another zip code, there's probably another handful of tree companies that have already gotten verified. They're going to show their ads on this top part more often than yours if you're in a nearby area. So your local area, they're going to show yours the most. In nearby areas that you still want to cover, it's going to be probably in that more tree service companies click here type link. So you're going to be down a little further with the local service ads for that. But you give them a budget, you tell them how much you're willing to pay per lead, and they set you up. And so that works too. These right here, we can run them anywhere for you, and they convert really well too, depending on if you got everything correct in there. So that's how it looks. And then there's your Google Map listings right below that. So it's got a more of a kind of a mobile approach, mobile look, but it's the same thing. So it's at the very, very top right here. And then the ads are below that. And then you get the maps right here. And statistics prove, half the people call the paid ads, the other half call the maps and the organic website links right below this. So you want to be in both places. You don't want to miss half the leads because you're not doing paid ads, and you don't want to miss half the leads because your SEO is nowhere to be found. Like your website's on page 4, your map listing's buried, and all that stuff. So you want to make sure you're doing both, and that really helps you maximize your lead flow. So this is how it impacts the search results. Is Google local home service ads are at the top. Traditional Google AdWords, which they call Google Ads, now they've shortened it, is right below that. And then right below that is going to be the Google My Business, Google Map listings. And the goal that Google is trying to promote here is that these are super local to you. So when you search on your smartphone, they know exactly where you're physically standing when you do that search. Like they know your coordinates. They know based on your IP address and your GPS on your phone exactly where you're standing, which is kind of scary, but they know exactly where you are all the time. And so when you do that search, tree service near me, or if your customers do a search, tree trimming near me or tree trimming Atlanta, and they're sitting right there, Google's going to show them the most local to that person's search results. And so that's why you want to be well optimized in the maps, but you also want to have the ads, and you want to also have the Google local services if possible, if it's available in your city. So how Google local services works, you must complete the Google local services application. Maybe you've already done this, it's maybe old news to you, but you got to complete an application with Google local services. Google will run a background check on you and your employees. So you got to list your employees or the ones that you want to list, and they're going to run a background check on all of those people. They're going to check your license, your business license, background check via Pinkerton Consulting. It's like a third-party background check service. They're going to check your insurance to make sure. They're going to get your business owners, and all crew members must complete a background check. And so they're probably also going to need all of your business information, your Secretary of State paperwork, your articles of incorporation, probably EIN number, all that stuff. They're going to need all that stuff to just make sure you're who you say you are. And then once you're approved and if active in your area, you'll pay on a per lead basis. So we've seen anywhere between 35 and 55 bucks per lead. But expect those prices to shift over time because more and more tree service contractors are now getting Google local services, getting guaranteed. And it also is going to vary by city and by industry, just depending on how many people are advertising in your market. But this is the feedback we get from some of the active users on Google local services. It's a lower cost per lead than pay-per-click. You just don't get enough of it. So it's tough to get the volume you want off Google Guaranteed because they're trying to pass around as many leads to everybody as they can. And there's not an unlimited amount of leads. So everybody's got to get their share. So you don't get as many leads from it, but the cost tends to be slightly lower than the pay-per-click leads. Higher quality leads than Home Advisor for sure, because you're getting that lead directly into your office instead of Home Advisor getting it and then 5 tree contractors getting an email with that lead, right? You're getting it right away. It's coming right directly to you. There's still going to be some price shoppers. There always are. And you got to follow up quickly. But there's a solid return on investment from most of the clients who have jumped on board. So play the game while you can, get in there. Right now, there's a good return on investment if you can get verified in there. So where it's active is basically coast to coast. So it's everywhere. It just depends on the size of your city. And I think, again, it's about 150 to 200,000 population city and up. So don't quote me on that. I'm not sure exactly what their parameters are. I don't think they've actually ever listed their parameters, but that's what we've seen. It's always in the tier 1 markets like your Atlantas, your San Franciscos, your New Yorks, your Miami, your Tampa, Charlotte. It's always in those cities, but the smaller cities, the tier 2 cities, for example, a Jackson, Mississippi, or a Columbus, Georgia, a place with like 100,000 people or less, it's just not there typically. So we've kind of done the math on the size of the city they put these in. Probably just makes sense for Google to get, if it's too small of a city, they know nobody's going to do it pretty much. So, but it's pretty much everywhere. It's coast to coast, north, south, east, west. So what you should do now, if you want to get invited to the party, is just get with your strategy partner on our team or me for your Google local services to get validated with that. So it's basically just adwords.google.com/local services sign up. And if you're already logged into your Google account, which is usually your Gmail account or your Google Maps or whatever, you could just do this search. And since you're already logged into Google, when you click on this link, it'll just take you right to it. You don't have to log in again. But you got to complete all your background checks. So that'll be number 1. And then you got to put in the tracking in place to make sure you're gauging and measuring your return on investment with the Google local service ads. Be sure that you're leveraging the platform to close the jobs and doing the updates and play the game while the return on investment makes sense. Because right now in most markets, it still makes sense. It's still converting pretty well. People are still doing pretty good with it. It's just the more and more people that get in there, you're just going to get less and less and less leads because they have to distribute a certain amount to everybody that's willing to pay for them. So build your 2021 plan. This is the digital dominance method of everything we talked about. But this stuff works, right? Here's a quick case study for you. It's kind of what we talked about before. Your plan for 2021, this is everything that needs to be on that plan. It's kind of cut off there. I'm not sure why it's cut off, but the plan for 2021, if you really want to get and maximize the lead flow from the internet, just get as many possible call-ins as you can to grow your business, is a website that's built to convert. You want to have proactive search engine optimization that works, that gets your website on that first page for whatever your keyword is, your keywords with, tree service Dallas, tree removal Dallas, tree trimming Dallas, whatever that is, whatever city you're in, you want to be ranked on that first page if you want to get the maximum amount of leads. You want Google Maps optimization. So part of the SEO is to get your Google Maps really dialed in. That generates a ton of calls on that first page. So if your Google Maps is in that top 3 or 4 positions, you're going to get a ton of calls from that. I mean, we've seen it go from where the Google map wasn't really being seen to all the way up in that top 3, and it literally tripled the amount of calls the business owner got once it got there. And then it's just like stuck, it's super glued in that spot. So you always get those calls when people are looking up tree service contractors in your area. You want to focus on online reviews, because if you don't have really much of a reputation, or if you have a bad reputation online, then you're going to get less and less calls on those searches. So you want to focus on keeping your rating, your Google star rating on your map listing high. So if you're, I would say, below 4-star rating or something like that, really work on getting more and more of those 5-star reviews, because it doesn't take a whole lot to keep on bringing up your average rating, but just concentrate on getting them, because once in a while, like anything else, you might run over somebody's yard, you might miss an appointment, whatever that is, and somebody's going to give you a 1-star review, right? It just happens. It doesn't matter what business you're in, that's going to happen once in a while. So if you just constantly get 5-star reviews, that 1-star review is not going to really hurt you that much. You want a strategic pay-per-click campaign going on if you really want to maximize those searches that are being done every day. Social media presence and email marketing if you really want to hit your current customers, people that have liked your pages, people you have in your database. Maybe you're using Single Ops or Jobber or Arbor Gold for your database. You want to make sure you're emailing those lists so that people call you for appointments. You want to do precision tracking and measurement of your key performance indicators too. So that's the plan for 2021, to get your own inbound leads coming in and maximize fully for that. So what it means to dominate online for tree service. This is one of our clients here, Baroni's Tree Pros, out in Jackson, Mississippi. They're actually in Brandon, Mississippi, but they service the entire Jackson metro area. And we started working with them about a year ago, and their SEO is just completely dialed in now, where they rank on the first page for every local city around Jackson. And they went from about 40 calls per month in 2019 to about 180 calls per month in 2020, over $500,000 in annual increase in revenue, hiring more crews, on pace to do over $1.3 million this year in 2020. And they're booked out already till February. I mean, it's just crazy, and storms have an impact on that here and there, but they just get consistent lead flow day in, day out. And it's a combination of website built to convert, local search engine optimization, and the maps optimization weekly. It's a combination of pay-per-click ads, and it's a combination of retargeting all over the internet. So everybody sees them in the local market all the time because they've been on their website before, they've clicked on the landing page before, and they're just constantly seeing ads about Baroni's Tree Pros. So that's who they're going to call when they think about, needing tree service. So it just really helps you kind of tattoo your brand and your name in the minds of all the people out there that are going to be looking for tree service. They've expanded, basically doubled their crews, got more equipment, and they just have that confidence to know that they've got consistent and sustainable lead flow in their local market. So build your custom plan. This is a free checklist we have, and it basically goes through everything you need on your website. It goes through everything you need for your pay-per-click ads. It goes through, it kind of highlights and bullet points everything for you. And that way you just know, without fail, what it is that you need to have in place for your 2021 marketing plan. And it's on our website at treeservicedigital.com/free-checklist. So that's treeservicedigital.com. And actually, if you're on the homepage of the website, treeservicedigital.com, if you scroll down, you'll see the logo for the checklist. You can click right there and it'll pop up, and you can put your name and email in and grab it. But this checklist will go through pretty much everything that you need for your business to market it on the internet, and it won't let you miss anything. So you'll kind of know what it is you need here, what you need there. And, but it's everything from your social media, your email marketing, paid online marketing, proper tracking? Is it mobile friendly? Are you consistently creating new content, blogs, and creating new inbound links to your website by distributing those blog posts and different things like that? So it really, really helps you kind of just put the visual together for your business. So what are the top 3 internet marketing initiatives that you need to implement to hit your 2021 goal? So maybe you're doing maybe 1 or 2 out of the 3 or 4 things that we mentioned. Maybe you need to implement a couple more to really just kind of push it forward and get a percentage higher, more inbound lead flow and call flow. Or maybe you're getting plenty of leads, but you're just not converting a lot of them because you're not really getting them on the phone or you're not scheduling that appointment. If that's an issue, then it's more of a conversion issue than it is, spending more money on pay-per-click or spending more money on this and that. It's just a matter of converting all the people that are reaching out to your business that want to work with you. And that can be an issue too. I mean, you got to juggle a lot of things with your business, but you've got to have something in place where, when people call, you take their information down and you book that appointment so you can get out there and give them that estimate. So what are the top 3 that you need to implement to hit your goal in 2021, do you think? And if anybody has any more questions on chat, feel free to pop them in there. Hope you guys are getting a few tidbits or nuggets that maybe kind of just maybe a light bulb went off and you're thinking, wow, okay, yeah, we can do that next year. It's great. This is just things that we do day in and day out every day for our customers. So we see kind of the impact it has on their business overall, the revenue, the amount of jobs they can go bid on, and just all that stuff. So what were the key takeaways today? What did you learn? What did you notice? And what would you like to share, if anything? If anybody wants to share anything in the chat box, I'd like to do this kind of more interactive where we could actually talk if you wanted to talk, but today it's just a webinar instead of a meeting thing, so we really can't do that. But if you have anything you wanted to pop in chat, what do you like to share? That's fine if you want to do that. So here's what we've covered in a nutshell today. You want to set goals for 2021, how many leads it's going to take to hit your target. And that goes back to how many leads you convert to paying jobs on the ones you're already getting. And how much is your average invoice? So if you got, 50 invoices, what's the average invoice that you typically get? And you can back in the numbers from there. The 3 fundamentals to marketing success, how to optimize your website for conversion in 2021 and beyond, the big picture of all the online marketing channels you should be tapping into to maximize your lead flow online. If you have any questions about which ones of those marketing channels that you want to tap into, or if you're kind of unclear on that, just pop it in the chat and I'll answer it, as we keep going. We're getting through kind of to the end of the slides now, but sometimes it's just a lot of stuff that we cover. So you're kind of unclear on like maybe this or that. So just let me know if there's one thing that maybe you don't recall or just wanted to, ask a question about. But the latest trends that you must be aware of in 2021. So if you got any, the trends are that things are moving towards messaging and converting via messenger, things like that. People are just getting less and less and less likely to want to talk on the phone. I don't know what it is. People just don't want to talk on the phone. They want to message and schedule appointments that way. And in some cases, you can attribute that to they're just not that motivated. But I got to tell you, a lot of people are converting a lot of people on text messaging these days. So you kind of got to do what your audience wants to do. It just really makes the most sense to do that. You don't want to just, push aside, a third or 25% of your leads because they want a text message or stuff like that. So it just really, really helps. And we've developed a custom action plan based on where you are now and what you need to do now to grow your business next year, your 2021 marketing plan. Would you like some help? If you want some help, you can just post help in the chat box and we'll be happy to help you. Also, you can book a strategy session on our website. It's no pressure involved, anything like that. We just go through your business, where you are, where you want to go, how we're going to help you get there. So if you want any help like that, you can post it in chat or just email back on one of these emails that we sent to invite you to the webinar. And if you want to talk, just give me a call. You can call us at 770-637-3707. Or if you just want to schedule an appointment, you can go to treeservicedigital.com/schedule. I think my seat kind of fell down a little bit there. And we'd be more than happy to go over your business, because this is all about your business in 2021, where you want to go, how you want to get there, what it is you need to do to get there. And for everybody that stuck around, I know it was a long webinar. It's approaching a little bit over an hour now. But if you stuck around, here's how to get the list of ultimate internet marketing checklists for tree service contractors. It's at treeservicedigital.com/free-checklist. And it's also on the homepage. So if you click on treeservicedigital.com and you kind of scroll down to the bottom of that homepage, you'll see free checklist. You click on the box, it'll pop up and you can just get it, download it right there. But also on our website, if you wanted to see some testimonials about the service or implementing what we're talking about today, the digital dominance method in your 2021 marketing plan, we've got several video testimonials on our website. And they're on the website on treeservicedigital.com/testimonials. So if you wanted to take a look-see at those, watch some of those videos, they're also on YouTube, on our YouTube channel under reviews. So we've got a reviews section on our YouTube channel for Tree Service Digital. And these are our clients that were so gracious enough to give us a video testimonial there. We appreciate their business. And let's talk. If you guys need any help implementing your internet marketing plan for 2021, this is all we do day in and day out. So if you wanted to schedule an appointment that's good for you next week or the week after, anything like that, just to kind of go over what you're doing today and just to kind of get another set of eyes on it, kind of through our lens, because this is what we do every single day, we're more than happy to go over that with you and kind of show you a plan that makes sense for the upcoming years to continually and consistently grow your revenue and get your business where it is that you want to get it to. All right. Well, if anybody has any other questions, you can pop it in chat really quick. Give it a few seconds. And okay, thank you too, Edwin. Appreciate you being here today. Thanks a lot. You're welcome, Beth. Thank you too. Thank you so much for joining today. And if we can help anybody, just let us know. It's treeservicedigital.com/schedule. And I wish everybody prosperity in the new year. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas if we don't talk before then, and prosperity for your business in 2021. Let me know if we can help. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Thanks a lot.